I wouldn't place a lot of reliance on applying to a job on a website and then hoping for an interview.
In your mind, what do you think is happening?
I think you have no choice. When you don't have opportunities, you have to be humble. A lot of people come to LBS thinking that this is the end goal. I think it's a means to an end rather than the end itself.
Hello, everybody. Today on our episode of Business Casuals, we have with us Brian DSouza. Welcome, Brian.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking out the time. I know you're a very, very busy man.
You're very kind.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for taking out the time and coming on this podcast. I think we've already given a little bit of a teaser to people about
many moons ago.
Yeah, many moons ago. Maybe we start with your introduction. What do you do? Where do you come from? What kind of background do you have? Yeah, floor is yours.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. It's an honor to. I know the other people you have interviewed, and it was a chance for me to showcase myself. So thank you for having me. I basically born in Bombay, studied in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and then moved to Bombay again to pursue my Chartered Accountancy. Then moved to London. And in the pursuit of all, I did a lot of work in banking, financial services. I began with audit, moved to assurance, then governance, then operations, and now risk. So that's what I do. I'm currently at Citi for the last 4 years now. And
nice. Can we see the Citi building behind us?
No, it's under construction.
I think this building. No.
This building.
This building. Yeah. This building is Citi, right? Yeah. Nice. So very, very diverse backgrounds. 4 countries, almost 4 different functions in banks as well.
Yes.
Nice. How did you end up being in these different functions? And what made you move all these countries?
Countries were, I think, more chance. Functions were choice.
Okay.
Chance was because my family was moving around. I moved around. To be honest, I can live and work anywhere.
Okay.
I have no much choice. I think my family decides most of that. As to work, nobody would hire me in the front office. A lot of I basically, I think, took every job that I got. And I never applied. I never got a job that I applied for. I always say this in my other mentoring sessions and things where I wouldn't place a lot of reliance on applying to a job on a website and then hoping for an interview and then expecting for it to work. I mean, it works. It's great if you are good at what you do and you're an exceptional profile and you stand out.
Yeah.
But for people like me who are sort of in the average bucket, you have to do a little more and you have to, I think, work harder than just clicking a few buttons. So I never got a job that was posted and I applied for. I spoke to somebody. I wouldn't say spoke. I kind of requested somebody, give me a job. And then they spoke to someone, and all my jobs I've got like that, including the one at Citi. So I think it's more about sort of a journey of resilience and persistence on asking people to believe in you. And once they kind of show faith, you kind of reward their faith. And then you kind of keep doing that over and over again. So that's how you move the functions. Geographies, I think, happens. It's something that I'm blessed to be in so many different diverse. I think it helps when you work at a place at like a multinational bank. You're able to understand people better. You're able to kind of understand cultures and how people work, because they work only as close to their cultures. So if you know how things work in an Asian country versus how they work in Europe, very different.
Yes.
And if you kind of are able to connect, you can get your work done easily.
Yeah.
So it really helped me, Middle East, and now here in Asia, in Europe.
That's a very, very open-minded kind of approach, right? Like being humble all across your journey.
I think you have no choice. When you don't have opportunities, you have to be humble. I have friends who, when I was studying in for my chartered accountancy. In fact, I've been studying. I was talking to my family a couple of days back. I've been studying and doing these kind of job and studies things since I'm 17. It's been what 12, 13 years now. More than that, 15 years now. I've been doing this sort of juggling, and now I'm getting old, and now kind of the body is.
Yeah, it's just starting. Huh?
It is, but then it's you
it's
can't.
the start of your youth.
It is. It depends, but I think it kind of burns the candle at both ends,
Yeah.
where you kind of keep pushing and this side. But I think LBS is sort of a reward for me, and I'll explain hopefully over the course of this interview what I mean by that, because a lot of people come to LBS thinking that this is the end goal. I think it's a means to an end rather than the end itself, which is what, for the lack of a better word, the Indian mindset is that you get into a good college, you'll get a good job.
Yeah.
Business school is a bit different
Yes.
than that.
Yeah. So you were being too humble as well, like in the beginning, you were saying you were an average student when you've done CA in India and everything, right?
No, I mean, doing CA, I think itself humbles you.
Yeah, okay.
The process humbles you. Unfortunately, I was not able to complete my course, so I'm still registered there as a student, and I think my victory as a professional or my victory as a student or an academic will be when I get that degree, so I can pass out of MIT and Harvard and all of those things. But I think for anyone who watches this and has done chartered accountancy or has even tried to do chartered accountancy, every time you attempt an exam, it takes a part of you with it.
Yes.
And I've given so many attempts that I have lost a lot of my heart in the process. So yeah, it humbles you, and I think it makes you more resilient. So now when I'm recruiting or doing all the things that I do in life, and I face failure, I'm like, I've been through an exam that takes 6 months of your life at a time.
Yeah.
And you've lost it. And I've lost so many years doing that another opportunity will come. I just do. My risk my reward that I assign to this is very different from an average other person at all other things being equal, because I've been through that grilling and that grounding, I would say. So didn't complete CA. I don't know why destiny had it in its this for me to do it. But I would say, for the lack of a better word, enjoyed the process, because it I still never forget the humbling I got by not going through there.
That's what is important, right? Like I read this Instagram tagline, or if you will, like I read this in a bio or on Instagram somewhere. I'm a believer in 1% improvement every day. I was like, that's actually very nice thing to say, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I think if you do 1% improvement every day over the last 10, 12 years, which is what you've been doing, like the end product is something very big.
Power of compounding, right?
Yes, it's not just with money; it's with everything in life.
Everything.
It's with everything in life. So
I saw a book there, Atomic Habits.
I think I read something like this.
That's how it
Atomic Habits
starts, right? That's you kind of move the degree of the aircraft by 1 degree. You can go to another place altogether.
Yes. So yeah, I think the example is like if you start flying from San Francisco, and it's a flight to New York. So a flight from San Francisco to New York. At the onset, if you change the position vector by 1 degree south, then you end up landing in Washington or Charlotte or something.
Yeah, totally a different destination.
This a different destination.
1 degree.
That 1 degree makes such a big difference, right? So you've had a very diverse kind of background in terms of like the cities you've lived in, the kind of people you've worked with. You had some privilege of working in different functions in a bank, in maybe different banks as well. What made you think of business school? So you were already in London. A lot of people apply to LBS thinking maybe they want to make that geography shift. Some people try to make both kind of shifts. They want to move to London and they want to move to another sector. At least for you, like you're already in London before your application. So why LBS? Why business school? What were your motivations like?
Yeah. So I think picking up from my previous answer is that I did not have a completed professional degree of sorts because I did convert my CA to ACCA, but it was incomplete. And accounting was not my thing. Finance was my thing, right? Accounting and finance, I know, is packaged as one commodity back home, but it is not. It kind of goes hand in hand, but then that they kind of separate at some point. Uh, I didn't want to kind of complete a degree in accountancy and then become an accountant in London, and then that be my profile. So I was clear on that. And I think uh, in life, we spend a lot of time and focus on trying to get an idea of what we want. Uh, from the very start, I didn't know what I want. I think even if you ask me now, what's your dream job? I don't know because I kind of look at it and say, okay, I can do it for some time. I want to learn. I learn a bit. And then after a point, I'm like, okay, I want something else. I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but I know what I don't want. Right. And I think that is equally important, which people don't realize during the journey. At least you know what you don't want and you know what is a deal breaker for you. So you don't kind of end up there and kind of go back to that circle. So I always knew I didn't want to do accounting. I didn't want to do auditing. I didn't know what operations was. I knew it was kind of the dirty work of the front office. I didn't know what it was. Another humbling experience is back office operations. It humbles you, especially if you have worked offshore back in India.
I have spent time in back office.
So you kind of get a call in the day just before you're about to leave is, can you do this deck immediately? And all you have to do is move margins, change the font size, which could have been done and could have saved email traffic and my time. But that's another humbling experience where you're like, okay, I'll do it, fine. So did all of that. When I came here, I realized I knew what I didn't want to do. And if I wanted to be where I thought I want to be, which is a lot different from where I want to be now. Again, I don't know that, but I know where I don't want to be. So I knew that I had to have some ace up my sleeve. I looked around for options and I didn't have a network. I didn't know people. If I knocked on the door, nobody would open. So I was looking for that ace in the sleeve where I would have people I know, people I can call and get things done. I don't want to be a fixer, but you want to be able to be in a position where you can dial a phone and get things done. At least for yourself, if not for, your influence should at least work for yourself and your family. So again, I thought London was a good place to do that. I was still young back in that.
Still young.
back then, when I thought of this idea of trying to get a job, do something. I didn't know what that was. I did look at other things to do socially, join a economic club or something of that sort. But then the effort reward was not adding for me. So I decided, okay, I need to go back to the classroom after years of not being there or abandoning it. And then I think if you're in London, the only choice if you want to keep your job is London Business School. I was very interested in the MBA. Did the brochure, but obviously I think on the fourth page I gave up, where you see the fees and you're like, I can't afford that. Or I can't risk to afford that much and then, put myself on the job market again. Which turns out to be very rewarding now, because when I look back, the job market is terrible. And finding a job with that kind of debt is not a very good financial decision. So that worked out. So I wanted to do something, keep my job, and not take a loan on it. So all of these things, I think if you play that elimination game, there was only one option left. That was Masters in Finance part-time. So again, if you know what you don't want to do, you then have no option to do what is left on the table. So that's where I said, okay, Masters in Finance part-time is what I want to do. So then when you start approaching that with that mindset that this is the end of it for me, if this or nothing, which I think then you just give everything you got and then you get it.
Yeah, that's That's been my way of maybe approaching some decisions in life as well. Most decisions. So, I mean, when I applied for the part-time course myself because of this very reason that if I want to be, if I'm working in London and I want my job to continue, then there's only one school that's left, which is LBS. And then there's only like one course that they offer for people with our kind of experience, which is like the part-time Masters in Finance.
True.
So,
And it worked out well for you, right? I mean, so I think that the takeaway there is that it's not that there's one approach that works for everyone. It's everyone needs to cut a different size.
Did you just apply to LBS then? No other schools?
Yeah. All in.
All in. Nice.
Because if you trust your judgment and you believe in your decision, then it depends from person to person and what stage of career you are. I was not in a stage where I would go to, say, Oxford for a course. And they do offer some sort of a part-time as well, I think. But I was not in a state that I would travel that far for a course. And then what would be my network? How would it work out? It didn't make sense to me. This was more clear. It's a train ride from home.
Yes.
I knew I could be there. I knew I could make some adjustments in personal and professional life and then push through 2 years, which by God's grace are now over this month. So it worked out for me. And thankfully, I decided to stay in my job because then I kind of grew there as well.
Yeah.
Leveraging both sides.
So the next thing we talk about is the application process. I think we've talked a lot about it with different people, so I'm not sure like how much we can add over there. But from your application process or from your memory of whatever you did, like are there any things that you remember that you would like to highlight, or would you like to like give any suggestions to like these are like the top 3 things or the top 2 things that people should consider while applying?
It's very funny because I got a LinkedIn message just this morning.
Yeah.
There's this girl, I think she's based in Dubai. She has applied and she's been put on a wait list.
Okay.
And she asked me, what should I do? So I said, okay, what are your options? What is your plan A, B, C?
Yeah.
And it's very ironic I'm saying that because just now I said that you should have only one plan.
I was going to say, don't you think that was a risky strategy?
It was. So I'll come to that. So because of that humbling that I have, I go all in, but I don't expect anything. So I'll tell you, all my essays and all that was drafted, and LBS, I think the admissions team, I have all my respect for them because they are so kind to answer so many questions I asked. I had like multiple calls with them. I attended almost every event that they had online, in person, in Citi, campus tour, because I wanted to make sure what the decision I'm making is the most informed. So I would go in for everything. So I knew everybody. I would speak to everybody. And I think it comes from my upbringing where, you should have all the information before you make a decision.
Yes.
So the admissions team was helpful. I was able to do a demo lecture. So you get to attend a live lecture, speak to people there. I was able to connect with them, get their feedback on my application and all those things. And I still remember this because there was this lady who's she's no longer with LBS. She was the admissions manager for part-time. She kind of, after the lecture, met me. She asked me, how's your experience? And I told her it was amazing. Like I had never sat in a classroom as the one that they had the lecture in. And I was just amazed because they had free food flowing
for part-timers, right? Yeah.
Free food, and you could just go, and they had hot snacks that come in between the lecture,
right?
Falafel and hummus and all of those things. Like amazing, like this is great.
5-star experience.
5-star experience. And I remember when I was leaving, she invited me for lunch because they also serve lunch for the part-timers.
Yes, I know.
So I said, no, I think I've already kind of had enough of an experience. It's a bit overwhelming now. And before I left, I said, can I request one thing? I have this badge, the visitor badge that you get at the reception. I said, I'm going to exit from the Regent Park exit, and I'm going to keep this badge with me. We're just going to sneak it out because I don't know what will happen. So at least for my generations ahead, I can tell them, look, I was on this campus once, and now it's your duty or your thing to go there and get a degree from there. And that's the approach I had, because I said, even if I do everything, you're talking about one of the best business schools in the UK.
In
At
the UK,
least.
in Europe,
In Europe,
even in the world, right? Like
one of the top 5.
Yeah.
So for me, it is God level, like, you're just like entering. So even the first day I entered, I was just bowed down. It's something that comes from culture, and I said, this is a temple for me.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'll be here to learn. And I promised my dad one thing, is that on graduation day, I'll go on the Sussex gardens that they have that face Regent Park and eat the grass.
Oh, okay. I'll be there to take a photo of that.
Because it's my way of kind of saying that, I've done it.
I've done it.
So that's my which I
there's this big tree in the center. Make sure you don't get the grass from near that tree. Because that tree has a lot, like, I think it has had like some problems with ants and stuff. So they put like some medicine around it, so that might be poison. Anyways, and that's probably old information and not vetted, so I don't know. But you got a scholarship from LBS, so you were fortunate that way. So how did you have to do anything separately to do that?
So turns out I get this call because like I said, I applied and I forgot about. I didn't forget about it. I don't think about it. So even if it is a job interview or something, I do everything I can. I stress as much as I can till the point, perform, and then leave. And then, I mean, if it happens, thank you, God. If not, then I'll try again. That humbling comes into play. So I did everything, submitted the application, and just said, whatever it is, £150 on application fee is sunk cost. I'm not going to think about it. It's over for me. And then I think after a couple of weeks, I applied towards the last few rounds. So I don't know how I matched in the profiling and all of that. But the same lady I had asked whether I can steal that badge told me that, congratulations, you're on, and I wanted to give you a call specifically. I'm going to send you an email confirming it, but I just wanted to send you an email to let you know that you've got it. And it's no way. I'll wait for your email. No way. And when she sent the email, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then I came down a year somewhere, and I was just walking around. And I was...
You were in office that time?
Yeah, I was in office. So I came down and I didn't know how to scream, shout, and I was like, hold on, how are we going to pay for this? Because I couldn't afford the MBA, but not like I can afford this. I don't have that cash lying in my drawer. So I called her back and said, okay, do you have any financing options?
Yes.
She's like, she redirected me to their website, and we have that whole page. I went to them immediately, I signed up, and I think they're charging an 15% APR. On
student,
the fees,
Lendwise, right?
And all of those vendors. There's a US vendor as well. And I couldn't afford a 15% APR.
It's too much.
Because I know finance very well, I said that will never work out for me. I will never get an ROI on that kind of money. So I have to do it cash. So I said, okay, I can't do this. Thank you for the offer. And she's like, why don't you try for scholarships? We have a few scholarships. So I applied for a few scholarships. Unfortunately, I didn't get any on them, but I did get a merit scholarship.
Okay.
Which I'm very thankful. There is a whole different committee that runs it. So it was based on profiling, I understand, and top 10% of the class. So it's a double honor for me to even be in that bracket already. And then I think that kind of gave me a pivot to be a student ambassador, because that's their ask, right? So we invest in you, you give back to LBS in that way. So then I said anything. Nice. If you pay my fees, I'll do anything for you.
Yeah. When well, congrats. Like, that's a big thing, right? Like, when you were applying, you were at Citi, and like for 2 years, taking so much time off from work. Like, the classes only happen on the weekends, but it's still like considerable time that you have to spend after work into like coursework at LBS or life at LBS. Did Citi kind of support you in any way, either financially or like just general support from the team? How did you approach all of that?
Yeah, so I've been at 3 teams since I started my journey, because it was kind of spread over 3 calendar years. It starts in a year and then runs over 2 years. And I've kind of constantly moved teams to move up the chain in a manner of speaking. Uh, Financial support was not available in any manner. I did try in all 3 teams, did try my luck and did try the whole buttering up process, but it didn't work. But what worked is Citi has this great study policy. They have this whole policy in which you can apply and get time off for studies, get flexible working hours if you give enough of a notice, and obviously you move things around. As long as your work gets done somehow, they have a very decent policy, which is a good thing.
Nice.
So they've been very supportive in that sense. And the management is equally understanding that you're doing something. And I've kind of used the LBS platform for Citi and the Citi platform for LBS, which I learned very later in the course that I should do that or could do that. But I think that's the learning I have from business school. So yeah.
That's just smart use of resources on both ends, right?
Again, when you don't have too many options, you innovate.
You innovate. Yeah. In terms of courses, were there any courses that you were looking forward to and you ended up taking at LBS?
PVC is one. Professor Florin is one. Distress investing another. I think both Florin courses were something that I wanted. But I think, and I always face a little backlash for this, is that my best courses were non-finance courses at a finance course. Because very early when I was speaking, while I was doing my research, and even here, one of my MDs mentioned to me that don't spend time doing things that you can do online for a few pounds or a few £100. If you're paying the kind of money you're paying, the value that you should get is in behavioral, those kind of courses. And the best course I took, I think, is Paths to Power. Professor Jose. He was the advisor to the Spanish Prime Minister.
Okay.
Went to Harvard School with President Barack Obama.
Same class?
Yes, they were in the same class.
Okay.
So he claims that Obama knew him and he didn't know Obama, because Obama was such a person who knew everybody.
Okay.
That was the kind of a person he was. But obviously, when he became president, he got to know, this guy was in my class.
Oh, okay.
So that's and he's well connected to many people. So his guest speakers are the ambassador to Russia, and I think the course teaches you. I think the course changed my life, and Professor Jose is so kind that I try to meet him every time he's in London. We have this thing called Power Coffee.
Okay.
Where he meets you over coffee, and then you get your life problems of networking and how you're trying to climb up the ladder. And he will give you simple solutions of, I think you should not do this, you should do this. And I think the change that I have had, which very visible now, is by the learnings and the applications of that course.
Yeah.
A lot of it. I always jokingly say that it took me 20 years to become an overnight success. But obviously, I did a lot of work over the compounding that
1% improvement every day.
But then the application came from this course where you say, okay, there's this concept of influence, there's a concept of network, and there's a concept of power. You understand how they commingle. Most people think it's the same thing, or they're very abstract concepts. They're actually very interrelated. And if you can amalgamate that, which I'm trying to do now, you just build a different. I mean, not to be very pompous, but what I've been able to do in the last couple of months or last year or so has been. I don't know if it's been done before. I'm being honest. I mean, someone can come and tell me I'm wrong, and I'd accept that. But it's not a usual thing to do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to expand that influence whilst I'm a student, and then try to continue to do that, because it's not about monetizing your network. It's about building a network.
Yes.
You should have the ability to pick up the phone and make that call I spoke about.
Yeah.
And the few billionaires that or the big influencers that I speak with and host, they are on WhatsApp with me.
Yeah.
So
that's the reward you get.
Yeah. So I don't send them WhatsApp forwards, but I know that they'll know me if there is something I would later kind of need to get in touch with them.
So you did end up getting your path to power. Bad joke, but you still did.
I don't know power, but I'm climbing now.
Yeah. Stairway to heaven.
Stairway to
heaven. I think we'll come to the crux of, like, not the crux, but the most important thing that I want to talk to you about is clubs, right? Like LBS, very big part of the LBS life is the whole LBS clubs experience. And you've done a lot of good work with one of the clubs over there, maybe one, the TMRC, and then one more.
Yeah, TMRC India Club.
Yeah, TMRC and India Club. So talk to us about what all clubs did you join? How did you end up joining them? Like, what made you join those specific clubs? And just talk to us about like some of the work that you're doing, right, with those clubs.
So I joined every club.
I
joined every club, but I didn't do anything about it.
Okay.
Right. I knew there's something called the Student Association.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they do. So I think I'll probably take a step back, explain how my first year was. My first year was pretty vanilla. Went to class, attended lectures, and I think it was also the first year of figuring out how to kind of balance both sides. So it kind of took a bit of a toll there. So go to class, attend lectures, get back home, complete assignments, submit, case closed. That's your year one. And as I approached year two, I was like, okay, how am I going to get the ROI on this money that I'm paying?
Yeah.
And I began to say that, okay, clubs are a very important part of the LBS experience. And I need to kind of get involved. So I'm part of all these clubs, but I don't know what happens there because I don't attend anything. So I don't know anyone. So
this is year one.
This is end of year one. So end of year one, I decide I need to change something about it. Then I start registering for every event in every club, except for the dance and all of the salsa, tango. I don't do that. I don't think I should do that. I might break something. But yeah, so except that, I signed up to every event. I would be double booked sometimes. So go to work, okay, get done at 5:30, get to LBS by 6, and then be at LBS till 8, and then head back home. So that be at multiple places, just be there
at the same time.
Yeah, just be there. So I'm a very shy person. I'm an introvert by character. So it was very difficult for me to go into a room of strangers who don't know me, and I have no purpose there. Like I have no agenda. So it's me in a room full of strangers, and I don't have an agenda per se. Like I didn't have the paths to power diagram then. But so it's me trying to figure out what to do. You take a drink in your hand, you can drink that. Sometimes you just get drunk. And then you're like, what am I doing here? And you go in a tailspin. So you have one evening that just passes like that. Then you have another evening where you smile at someone. And then that compounding effect comes in. That person meets you at another event. Then you have a conversation. And then that whole process made me realize, okay, I need to be here, but I now need to choose and pick and choose where I want to be, because I know people, what are the good things for me, and they're not bad per se, but they are just not relevant to me, right? There are some mixer events which don't make sense to me. So I need to ration my time correctly. And that's what I did. And I think one thing led to another. I think the turning point came when I was at this one event. I heard some. I have to be very politically correct. There was this one person, a very young student, a fresher. He was talking to a club president and saying, "Oh, we should. Ashneer Grover is coming to London. We should do something about it, right?" And the club president is like, "Yeah, obviously you guys are new. You should do something. Do something, and when it's ready, come to us. We'll figure it out." And that guy, obviously fresher, doesn't know anything, didn't know where to go, and I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Okay, what would you need? Oh, tell me what's happening. Tell me in detail." Collected all the information, did my own research, verified it, and because I have that whole experience of failure and not expecting much.
Yeah.
That night I wrote an email to Ashneer Grover. Okay. So Thursday night I write an email to Ashneer Grover. I attend the event on Wednesday. Thursday night I write an email to Ashneer Grover. Friday morning I have his WhatsApp number from him saying that message me on this number. We get in touch. On Monday I host him at LBS.
Oh, it was that quick?
Yeah. It was, I think, a 72-hour or so turnaround.
Okay.
Because Saturday, Sunday, everything's closed. So you have to figure everything out Monday morning. And I'll tell you another part of it, and then I'll conclude. We did everything, and we're like, okay, Ashneer Grover is confirmed. It's genuinely Ashneer Grover who's coming. It's not a spam or, you just reach out to a number, the guy like, yeah, I'm coming. And you have 100-odd people waiting there and you have nobody turn up. So I verified everything. I'm like, okay, who's going to do it? Who's going to host him? Right? So my president, my club president was kind enough and said, Brian will be hosting for sure, without checking with me whether I would host or not. And the other club president whom we were collaborating with jumped in and said, okay, I'll do it. So you need one experienced person. He had the experience of doing such events. And here was I with no public speaking experience, nothing, but just the fire in the belly, right? And I think there are two takeaways from that. One is it's not just about being at the right place at the right time, because you can always be in the right place at the right time. But it's about being ready at the right place at the right time, right? Because you can have so many opportunities, like a striker, forward in football. I might use the wrong term, but forward in football, he might get multiple passes, but he has to be ready to strike.
Yes.
Or he should have the foresight, okay, how am I going to score? If he just gets it and dribbles and passes it back, then
Miss chance,
right? So it's very important to be ready at that right time when the right opportunity knocks. And then you have to back yourself. Because when somebody says, Brian will do it, now you can't say, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it, because the person we are talking about wipes the floor with people, right? So you have to be really sure. It's sort of like baptism by fire, where like, okay, Ashneer Grover, I've only seen him ransack people on TV. What if he does that to me in my first appearance? So obviously then you go back in that whole thought process and we're like, how do I mitigate this risk of being embarrassed at my first event at LBS? And because he was such a personality, my parents said, we are coming. And then my whole family was there. And I'm like, I don't want to be embarrassed
in front of your own family.
Yeah, my whole family. And then they kind of have a nice dinner table joke to laugh all their life. So what we did there was, just maybe digressing, but we decided that he would handle the tricky questions. And I would, because of my background, I would handle all the finance questions. I know you were attending.
I was there as well.
So all my questions were backed by research.
Yeah.
I read his book overnight. I went through all his history, all his financials and all of those things. All my questions were kind of hitting him where the details would come out.
Right.
And he was hitting from the side, okay, what do you think of politics in India? That side. So it's how you play the cards you are dealt with.
Nice. And then from Ashneer Grover, you went to Puneet, Blue Smart.
Yeah, I did. Puneet visited campus. So I think then once you do that, once you put yourself out, people see they like it. I always go back to everybody I knew who attended these events and ask them, please tell me your honest feedback and only criticism. Don't tell me you were good and you were this. Tell me what you think I should change, what you didn't like about me. Or did you not notice me at all? Even that's fine. Just tell me of, I don't want to steal the spotlight, but I also don't want to not be seen when I'm on stage, right? Because there were so many people who came and said, I've seen you somewhere. Since where? Were you at the Ashneer event? It's like I was sitting right next to Ashneer. So I realized in that event that I was focusing a lot on the technicalities, how to sit with your leg up, and how to hold a posture, and how to kind of stay steady and not lose composure. I said, okay, you need to relax on that. And then I did Puneet, I did Ronit, who's an MD at Citi, Raj Shamani now, and then we have a few events coming up.
Exciting.
But yeah, so then the opportunity finds you. Then people come and say, hey, we have this guy.
मेरे पास ये बंदा है, करोगे क्या?
Can you do it? And now it's come to a point where people see me and they're like, this guy is coming. I'm connected. Can you host? And now the list is so long. Now I have to pick and choose. Okay, this politician will not do this guy. There's no value add for me. Yes, he's a politician. He's well connected, but there's nothing I can talk to him about on an LBS platform, because you must remember that people want the LBS platform as well. They want that branding, and they kind of get something out of it as well. So we must be mindful as how we what we give when we are getting.
Is there a career in public speaking for you ahead of you?
Never say never. Like I said, if there's money, I will do it. Simple capitalism. If the economics work out, why not? But not seriously considering anything. I'm seeing it as, if I put it plainly, it gives me a bit of visibility. And I think fame is a very bad word. I'm not doing it for fame. I don't think this is the right way to get fame. It's the right way to get visibility. Whenever I meet somebody, I introduce myself and they're like, yeah, we know you. Like, yeah, my name is Brian DSouza. I'm doing this, and here is where I work. And like, yeah, we already know you. Yeah, that's good. So if I need to connect to someone, they should be like, yeah, we've attended your events, or we've interacted with you before, as against the Brian who was there in the first year who nobody knew. So I think my competition is with myself a year ago and saying, okay, that's my ROI. So if somebody sees me at LBS, we're like, okay, this is that guy. And somebody sees me at Citi, like, oh, this is that LBS guy. And that's another dynamic I think I leveraged very well over time. It's like, I have a good brand here, and I'm right in the middle of it. Let me climb up.
Nice. So that kind of helps you like just use those, both platforms like properly. I think you're doing very well at that.
Yeah. I would like to think that.
Yeah. So in terms of, so you said that you're not doing it for the fame.
Yeah.
But in your humble opinion, what comes out of this? Like, you do end up
like making some connections with people in power and in like influential positions. That's probably a very good thing. How do you think it impacts your life at a personal level? How do you think it impacts
like other people's lives when you do an event like this and there are 120 people, 150 people in the room? Obviously, like, you're impacting a little bit of everyone's life, right? Like, I've been in some of these rooms as well, and the learnings for me have been amazing when you were hosting and there were people on the stage.
Yeah.
So in your mind, what do you think is happening? Like, when you're hosting these events, as a part of the LBS experience, what are you gaining? What are people gaining? What's in it for you, basically?
A couple of parts to that answer. Firstly, I'm enjoying myself. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the whole rush of getting the whole machinery together. overnight drafting an invitation, getting the teams in the morning. And now I think the security guys knows me, the space guys know me, porters know me, and they're like, okay, this is that guy's request who kind of comes at the last minute because most events are such, the kind of last minute pushes. So that's my, I enjoy the whole process. So my primary, I do it for that, number one. I didn't know that I would enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. So I was kind of, I wouldn't say pushed in it, but it came to me. I did it. I liked it, and I'm doing it now. Not thinking ahead, thinking, do I have a career in it? Can I monetize it? Second part would be, I think it's very premature to start to think of a return. You can say an ROI on the fees or whatever, or on such things that you do so early in your journey of business school. Because I think a business school experience is a lifelong experience. It's a brand that you'll take to grave. In my understanding, these are my learnings that I've had at business school. That it's not get there and you get a job at the other side. The job will come and go, and you'll make friends and all of those things. But the brand you build, and I'm not saying like a marketing in a sense, but what if I were to tell you the name Brian DSouza, what comes to your mind? If somebody were asked, oh, this is that guy who did this, or this is the guy that did that, rather than, oh, I don't know who this guy is. So it gives me the visibility, it gives me the sort of reach, which I can't do. I can't play sport. I can't do the salsa dances and Diwali ball dances that they do. I can't. What else is there? I can't be the top of the rank. I can't get the A+ in all my courses and stuff like that. Failed miserably at that. But what can I do to get that out of the experience? That tomorrow, if I have to move geographies again, and I'm looking, because LBS is spread across the world, I reach out to someone and say, hey, we know you. We are happy to have a chat, which is anyways what the LBS experience is. If you are from LBS, you reach out to somebody, highly unlikely that you will not hear back. You'll always get a response back, which is part of the business school network. But this gives me that add-on. I think it's very incorrect to expect a return immediately, which was my expectation in the first year. I'm going to walk out, suit boot, and probably a chopper on the gardens and head to work and things. That doesn't work. You're dealing with the best of the best here. Private equity, consulting. You're talking of the best talent in Europe, at least. Even if you're talking about MBBs, I mean, what you see outside, and when you come into a classroom and you sit, then everybody has already worked at an MBB. They're just trying to move to a better function within. And here you are thinking that you're going to walk out with an offer from there. So it kind of keeps changing your goalpost. And now, because I said that I don't want a return, I think it's freed me up to do all these things.
Nice. As a little bit of a digression, do you remember how we met? Because you talked about the mixers and everything.
Yeah. We met at the MIF 30. MIF 30, introduced by our friend Aditya. And that's the part, right? That was the turning point for me, because I was like, I think it was July or something.
Early 2024.
Yeah, because I had a Ashneer right after that, the Ashneer event after that. So I know I met you before. And that was the time where I said, I wasn't normally going to attend an event like that, because I'm like, I know this is just going to be a talk and you're going to meet your classmates or what. And very few of my classmates actually turned up. So I ended up meeting a lot of new people. And that is one of the events, I think, where I actually started and said, okay, this is me. And I have nothing to offer.
That's the best, I think, introduction that you can make when you are not seeking anything, or, I mean, when you're going with like a plain heart almost, right? Like or a blank sheet of paper, then I think that's the best place to make connections.
And you seem more genuine, I think. Whereas I see that a lot in the newer students or the people who approach you on LinkedIn and things, we want to talk to you, obviously, because you're at LBS or you're at Citi, but we want to get a job in return, or we want a referral in return. You can't get that with me, A. So it's wrong expectation. And B, you should learn the process. You should get as much information out to make a decision whether this is worth your time. And in fact, I have asked a lot of people to rethink their reason for joining LBS, and they didn't listen, and they still came here, and now they are, because if their reason for joining is thinking that you're going to come in here and just walk out with a degree, that's not a good enough reason. That's never will work.
Mm-hmm. Might work in the short term, maybe, but like maybe you will not be very satisfied.
You have to be really good. You have to be really lucky up the economic cycle, get it at the top where everybody is just throwing out offer letters. You pay off your student loan, makes sense. But you would also be the first to be fired down the because.
Yeah, I hope no one has to go through that.
No, but that's, you have to account for that.
Yes.
Because if you look at an employment report at the top of the curve, and you think, 80% of the class is getting in consultancy, we didn't have the consulting event this year. Right? Yeah. So it moves very fast.
Why I mentioned how we met was because I think I've seen Brian 1.0, and now I think I'm sitting with Brian 2.0, and like in a matter of like maybe 12 months.
Yes. Less than that.
Less than that, probably. Less than that. So yeah, so we're reaching towards the end of the podcast. So and also maybe like you're approaching the end of your LBS life now. Your part-time course is coming towards the end. If you were to look back, would you have done anything differently? Anything that maybe in the first year, would you have done anything differently? Maybe would you have danced on the Diwali ball or something?
No,
like that?
I'd say
went to Embad, swam.
No, I drowned there. No, I would not do any of that. What I would do is maybe attend Sundowners. I've never attended Sundowners.
Man, that's
because again, I don't see that purpose. It's a good experience, I'm sure, and it's better in the summers. So maybe I plan to go for a few.
Yeah.
I didn't attend tattoo in the first year, so I'm looking forward to tattoo.
Yeah.
So I think the conclusion in that is that focus more on the student experience rather than looking for a job. I think the job finds you over time, as long as you know what to do and you have a network. I think it all boils down to network. If you are genuinely interested in understanding things around you and people, and you are certain of what you want to do or what you don't want to do, it kind of adds up. I know it's very cozy of me to sit here and say that, you will get a job. But that's my understanding of how it is that it's better you enjoy that experience, but you're never going to get a business school student life experience. Like I cannot go back last year and attend tattoo, no matter what I do, right?
Yes.
But I can attend it this year, thankfully, because of a part-time course. But as a normal student, as a full-time student, you only get that opportunity once. Yeah. I see a lot of people having the same regret that they did not have the student experience they should have had. I know you had a crazy student experience. And I think I learned a lot in our first interaction where you told me what all you did. And I was like, oh my God, this all is possible. Why can't I try? And obviously that kind of changed a few things for me. And I started attending those mixer events and things like that.
I think with Sundowners, I can relate because so the first year that I was there, because I was so busy, just like recruiting, courses, everything, it was so jam-packed for me. And like I had my own very busy personal life and like traveling life over here as well. I just never had the time for Sundowners. I just felt like going to campus and like drinking beers was never a thing for me. It didn't fit in.
But I think the best thing about Sundowners is it's lifelong, right?
It is, but it's also like when you are there and your batchmates are there, it's nice. It's a nicer experience. Like right now when I go, and like last Thursday I was at campus, and Sundowners was going on, like I really don't know anyone. So like what
But
am I
it's
going
free
to do?
beer still, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
enough
yeah,
of a
yeah,
motivation
yeah,
to
yeah.
go.
So but then to cover up, like I basically I became like Sundowner
crew.
crew afterwards, so that I kind of like do more than what I should have, like get more of an experience than I should have. So kind of covering up. But it was very nice. I think the student experience point is so important. That's my suggestion to everyone as well. Like the jobs, the career networking, all that stuff. It's lifelong. It's not just you're not just going to do that at LBS, but you have to do that for the rest of your life. So the thing that you'll not get lifelong is that 1 or 2 years in LBS.
Yeah.
So you have to max out
I
on
think
these
2 years
student
only if
experience.
you're lucky or you're an MBA.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that means unlucky, but, but yeah.
Yeah, I think maxing out student experience is very, very important. Any words of wisdom for people who are applying in the near future or any time, right? Like any words of wisdom that you would have, advice, suggestions, anything?
I think it's very important to. I read this quote somewhere that if you're planning to axe the tree, you should spend 75% of your time sharpening your axe.
Huh? Okay.
Right? So a lot of people spend a lot of time in action and not in preparation. I connect with a lot of as a student ambassador and has sort of being so vocal on LinkedIn. Speak to a lot of students who are, because of ChatGPT, so enthusiastic in their messages that this is the only thing we want to do.
Yeah.
And then when they come in front, they don't know anything about clubs.
Yes.
They have no idea of student experience of what LBS is other than the best ranked school or what we'll get in a Google search on the first top 10. You have to prepare. If you're putting that kind of money, it could be a family office that is sponsoring you or your employer that's sponsoring you, but it's your time. Your time now is worth an arm and a leg. When you're 20 years down the line and looking back, you'd give an arm and a leg to get this 2 years back and say, oh, I want that health and the well-being that I have now. So if you're putting that kind of time, that is your currency rather than just the money. Obviously, money is, for me, it is. But you should also think in that. So if you are asking for my half an hour or my 20 minutes for whatever catch up you want to do, you should have very specific questions and very pointed this that make me think, okay, let me think about that and get back to you, which very frankly, 1 or 2 people have done and they are here.
Yes.
They are students here because they are very direct. They know where they are going. And very few people are like that. I understand. But if I were to give my advice to people is you need to collect as much as information as possible. Cold emails on LinkedIn, cold messages on LinkedIn or emails to people, especially to LBS alum, I don't think go unanswered. I think many people are very responsive when you're talking about LBS, especially if they are been at LBS. And people just don't want to put that kind of effort, to be very honest.
Yeah.
They just think that we speak to 10 people, write their name in the application, and that kind of gets them through. It might not, but I think you need to put a little more effort. And the second thing is the job search journey begins way before your graduation month. I see that a lot now. Another quote I think is if you are thinking of digging a well when you're thirsty, you're already too late. Right? So a lot of people start the job search process in the month of graduation or a month or two before, like, oh my God. I think they are on the opposite side of the spectrum where they are only enjoying the student experience. And I think it comes down to building a network. You have to make connections and a network and not ask for a job at the end of it. You just say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm interested in knowing what you do. Thank you very much. We'll stay in touch. Hey, after 9 months, we met and would you be interested to have a conversation? I'm recruiting. I wanted some tips from you, and don't ask for a job again because then I'm very less likely to have a conversation with you. So balancing both.
I know some people in early careers who like started networking 3-4 months before this even started.
Yeah.
There was a person in my batch.
She did an intern, pre-MBA kind of intern before she started, and I think it's maybe more popular in Americas. I'm not sure, but like they do a lot of like pre-MBA interns and stuff like that. So
and probably have a this to get back there as well.
Yeah. No, but very cool. Thanks for all your insights.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
amazing.
you for having me.
Maybe I mean, thanks Brian for taking the time. This is my friend Brian DSouza. Very he's put himself very humbly, but kafi rockstar aadmi hai.
Sir, thank you. It's a reward for the hard work I put in your comments. Thank you so much.
So I'm sure we'll be in touch. Hopefully there will be a version 2 of this somewhere down the line.
I hope you get viral, and I hope I get viral. And then
as you said, like we're not doing this, like there's no expectation basically. The expectation is to help people as much as
I think it's a good effort to kind of do this, because when you hear 4 or 5 people, there are not many resources like this available, which kind of speak off record and say, okay, guys, calm down. Think about what you're doing, because there's a lot that you're investing in a degree, and it's not all green. The grass is not all green.
Not always green.
Especially in current situation, it is not green. And there's a lot of struggle and there's a lot of despair there. Even if you have a job, because you have invested that money, you have blocked the money, and now you're looking for a return on it. So you need to change a job or whatever. But then you have to that's where you kind of shift the goalpost and say, okay, what else can I do? So these efforts of what you're doing is really useful, and I hope people really use it well.
I hope it helps people, and I hope it helps like give something back to the student society, right? Like that's something I wrote in my application, and I like want to be very true to that.
Okay, then that's also my way of giving back.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
फिर से करेंगे एक बार. Thanks everybody. If you've stayed till so far, stay tuned for more episodes of Business Casuals. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.